Hey there guys, and welcome back to NIMBY Rails. Between sessions, I don't know why that took so long for me to say, I have been signalling and routing because there's a lot of it, and we've done most of it before. So, SWR's done, GWR's mostly done, I'll get to that in a minute. Southern's done. Southeastern High Speed is done, I haven't done the rest of Southeastern, and C2C is done. The rest of Southeastern is ready to be done, I just haven't bothered getting round to it yet, mainly. And I've done all of the Underground, because that took a while. London's finished again, with the exception of National Rail. GWR, everything except services in and out of Paddington is done, because there's a problem with Paddington Throat. That is next episode's issue. It's a side effect of Paddington Throat being 6 bidirectional tracks. And the track layout doesn't really allow me to just arbitrarily convert it to 3 up and 3 down. And obviously, NIMBY Rails doesn't really like bidirectional track. So, it's going to be an interesting one to deal with. And I'm putting it off. Today, we're looking at Oakhampton, because that opened the other week, and I can't be too far behind the time, so let's get on with setting that up. Honestly, I thought I'd already done it. In my old playthrough, I definitely had already done it. Back in like version 1.1, before I had to remake the entire game. Well, remake the entire map. I had already done this. And that was before they were reopening it properly, so that was back when it was just a summer Saturday service. I had scheduled it and everything. And the reason I'd done it is because I was setting up Heritage Railways at the time. That's still the plan eventually on this map. I just wanted to get the main lines done first and then go back and do Heritage Railways afterwards. Hence why I haven't done it yet. However, this is now no longer a Heritage Railway, and therefore must be set up immediately. So, it's my understanding, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's my understanding that the Dartmoor Railway that used to be here, running between Melton Mowbray, not Melton Mowbray, what am I on about? I clearly have not slept enough. Meldon Viaduct, it was similar, to be fair, in my defence. Between Meldon Viaduct, Oakhampton and Stamford Courtenay, that's closed now, is my understanding. Meanwhile, GWR has started a every 2 hours, potentially becoming every 1 hour, I think, service between Exeter and Oakhampton. And in the process, they've closed Stamford Courtenay Station. I'm not sure what the reasoning behind that was, but presumably there was some. So, Stamford Courtenay is closed. Possibly Oakhampton Parkway is being built nearby. Melton Croy is effectively closed because the steam railways are closed. Because there was no point having a steam railway between Oakhampton and Melton Croy. It's basically nothing. So, Oakhampton have got a public transport connection back to Exeter, but have lost a tourist attraction of a steam railway. I know which one I'd prefer to have in my local town, but to be fair, I can understand the public transport connection being useful to more people. Where does this line actually go? One thing I did notice going through and doing all the routing is quite how many times I'd misclicked with the nodes and not actually put the node in the right, like not connected the nodes together. And so there's just this tiny gap that you couldn't see when you were zoomed out that meant that the trains just wouldn't route properly. So at one point I had London Victoria to Portsmouth trains. Instead of going through Horsham, they were trying to go via Brighton. because between Horsham and Christchurch there was one node that was broken. Where on earth am I taking this? Let me just zoom out and consult the larger map. So, it looks like I do need to get up here somehow. Yeah, it comes across here. And then it crosses that road. And then it curves down around here. And into there. Sorted. Okay. Then we come across here. And how long do you reckon we come across here for before we start curving? That's the question. I'm not actually sure. Would be the answer. Let's go find Colford Junction. Oh, it's all the way over here. Okay. Let's bring this down then. This is a bit more clearer where it goes. It goes down there and then it comes up here. And it keeps coming up here. And then it curves just before the river. And it comes down just underneath that bit of grass. Where it... Or tree line, who knows what it is. And it connects up. There we go. Build. I've not really done a great amount of detail around Meldon Croy, but that's not urgent. I just double check. I'm pretty sure the signalling would already be set up for this because it's rather minimal. I'm also pretty sure these trains don't stop at Yeoford, but I will double check that. Looks like we could do with a signal there. No, don't be always, only for the same direction. So that'll let you in. And then that lets us out of the single track. But only to there. We go through the other platform credit. Okay, I think that's right. Now, time to make the service. So, the first thing I wanted to do was check that I've got the Barnstable service correct. Yes, it does go to St James's Park. That's good. I couldn't remember if I'd done that right. Let's get the correct colour. Paste the colour in. GWR. Oak to Exeter Central. I will double check that. So, Oakhampton. Yep, I'm correct. Oakhampton going places is different. Who knows why? There are actually 5 different locations in the system for Oakhampton. I guess because for so long it was done by a bus. But the bus was scheduled in the system so you could see the connections. So 10 and 0.05 at default timings of a minute. And every 2 hours currently. Currently every 2 hours. Oakhampton. Hello. Then what next? Crediton. I've started doing it like this because this is easier to do, but both directions in at once. A limited service at Newton St Cyrus, but Barnstable does a full service there, so I'm just going to not stop at all. Through Exeter St David's. It's weird that nothing at Exeter St David's uses that bay platform, and there's 2 terminating services from that direction now. And Exeter Central. And I'm pretty sure that, much like the Barnstable service, it comes up to turn around in this siding. Just make sure it's on the right tracks through there. It is. Yeah. It's a weird one. Again, extra central. Has a bay platform. Nothing ever uses it. Just wondering what's going on, because if I remember correctly, the crossovers aren't actually too far down. Well, I can't see them. There's one. Yeah, I think technically in real life extra central is bi-directional, but I do think the train comes all the way up to the siding anyway to turn around. Anyway, it's a 150 in on this route, so just have to find that. Watch me fail to find it. Pretty sure I've gone past it. I have. It was right at the start. Probably only need one train for this. I only need one train for this, and it'll have about a half-hour turnaround at Oakhampton. Go. I guess. That's done. Here it comes. Watch it meet something awkwardly at Crediton. It's meant to be nicely between two Barnstable services, but it's quite close behind it, really. Oh well. The only reason that might cause an issue is trying to turn around up here. The Barnstable service has quite a long dwell at St James's Park that I'm not thrilled about. All things considered. Also, why are you couldn't need to wait? Oh, I see. Okay, I hadn't realised that was the case. Trains from Exmouth reserve the route across Exmouth Junction as far back as Topsham. This is the last signal. So they'll pass this signal, and from that point on, nothing else can cross east to west at Exmouth Junction. Intriguing. Not necessarily ideal. It's not the worst because it seems to affect Oakhampton services, which have such a long turnaround at Oakhampton that 5 to 10 minutes while it's going between Topsham and the junction is not an issue. So hopefully we'll be okay. But we'll check it again in the next cycle. It's just about to happen. It comes round, waits behind the train at St James's Park, and yeah, it has to stop. But then, as soon as the train clears Exmouth Junction, it can go again. Really, it would be better off going in front. I won't lie. There's a lot it would be better off doing. It's irritating that there's only one siding here. What I'm tempted to do, and this sounds weird, is to change the Barnstable service. So, Barnstable, instead of a 10-minute dwell at St James's Park, you've currently got 2 hours 38. I want to get to similar. After that waypoint, come up to that waypoint. And if I drop that dwell down to 5, let's see what happens. So, where's the Barnstable service? I think that's it. Oh no, I think that's the Oakhampton, that's the Barnstable. Okay, you were slightly too quick there, for my liking. This is going to require some fine tweaking on this dwell. 7 minutes? Basically, I'm trying to put the Barnstable service into this siding to let the Oakhampton service turn around and come out in front of it. It might have a side effect of putting the Barnstable service behind the Exmouth service. We'll see how that goes. Come on, move. Oh, it's still out. Well, actually, this is the wrong hour. It did get out in time, but this is the wrong hour. I'm not sure why I couldn't have a signal here, honestly. I don't know why that would break it. Can't think of a reason that would break it. So it just means that train can get all the way up here without reserving a route across the junction. It shouldn't affect the train going the other way. I wasn't watching what happened there. That's irritating. We'll just run it fast through the next hour. Well, next 2 hours, I guess. I say run it fast, like this runs much faster than it did before. Well, that was 1 hour, so the train is currently at Oakhampton. What I do want to see is what goes on at Crediton. We'll watch the junction at Crediton. So we should have a train come down from Barnstaple first, then one up to Barnstaple. Well, okay, so the one up to Barnstaple is already rating for the one down. There we go. And they swap over, and then one comes out of Oakhampton. Right. Slow it down a little bit. See what happens. It's left St James's Park. So I need it to have a slightly longer... No, that's the one to Exmouth. That's the Terminator. And there comes the Oakhampton. So, basically they need to go in the right order in these sidings. So let's watch what happens. That comes in. It gets up to the end, it turns around. It comes down here. This one can now move. That's what I wanted. It looks weird, but that's what I was aiming for. So now that one has to wait for this one to get back out onto the main line. That's on its way. Then Barnstaple comes back across, turns around, back onto the main line. And then the train up from Exmouth, which actually had only just cleared Topsham, but that signal has allowed the Barnstaple train to get out. And the advantage here is because the Oakhampton train doesn't stop until Exeter Central, it gives the Barnstaple train time to stop at St James's Park behind it. What I can also do is up the dwell at St James's Park on the way back through to 3 minutes, and that should bring us back to the original 2 hours 38 we had. Because it can dwell there, there's nothing else going on, as I've seen from my other services. The concern I originally had when I put those dwells in was SWR would be affected, but the extra services are up at Honiton at the time, so they come in while the Barnstaple services are out the way at Crediton. Up into the siding, back into Exeter. Bit of a queue of trains coming through here, but the Exmouth train is out of the way, then this train dwells at St James's Park behind it. Okay, that looks like everything seems to be working then. So, that took a little more effort than I thought, but that's good because it made the episode a reasonable length. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.